Welcome back to a new video. In this video we are going to talk about unit tests in Python. Let's start coding. So I'm going to create two files. One is going to be my functions.py and the other one is going to be test my functions.py. Great, so we are going to work with these files right now. Let's define a simple function for the start. I'm going to say define my function to test and I'm going to give x and y inside. Then I'm going to say return x plus y. Also we can try our function like my functions to test and we can give 3 and 5 and we can test that if it's working like this. And as result we are going to see that if you print this into console, we are going to observe that we are going to get 8 from this. Great, it's working right now as you can see. So I'm just going to close the terminal, I'm just going to delete this and I'm going to come to the test my functions.py. So now into test my functions.py I'm going to import unit test like this and then I'm going to import, actually I'm going to say from my functions.py import my function to test like this. Great. So now we are going to write our first unit test. I'm going to say class test my functions and it's going to be like unit test dot test case and then I'm going to say define test addition and it's going to be something like self and we will say result. We are going to store that in something like my function to test and let's give something like 5 and 10, let's say, and then we are going to say self.assert equal and then we will say result 7 and then we are going to say addition test failed. Actually I need to say 15 since our numbers are 5 and 10. So let me quickly talk about all of this. Here we have our function addition and then we just create class test my functions and we use the test case module. Then I define the function as test addition. So you can define as many functions as you want. Like if you don't want to test addition, also if you want to test addition and you want to try something else, you can just define a new function like that. And after defining this test addition, we said result and we are going to get the result from my function to test and it's going to be 5 plus 10 equal to 15 and then we use the self.assert equal method and we are checking the result is equal to 15. Like the first number is going to be the result, actual result we get from the function, and the second one is going to be 15, the value we want, and if it's not equal to 15 then this line will be with us addition test failed. So you can just give your parameters like this on the assert equal. After that I'm going to say, after writing our first unit test, I'm going to say something like if name, it's a common practice in Python programs, if name equals to main then unit test.main. And after writing this, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open the terminal and then I'm going to say, actually by this button I also run that, but I'm just going to do it from terminal. I will say python 3 and then I'm going to say, if you're in Windows you can just type Python. I'm going to say python 3 then I'm going to say test my functions.py and here we can see that ran one test in 0.000 seconds and the result is okay, there's no problem. Great, our function passed the test. But what if we intentionally introduce a bug into our function? Let's see how our unit test helps us catch it. So in real life there is going to be a lot of problems with your functions. So I'm just going to say x minus y instead of x plus y. So with this change this test addition is going to fail right now. I'm just going to save this file and then I'm going to come to here and after that I'm going to say Python 3. Again, you can use directly Python if you're using Windows terminal. I'm going to say Python 3 and then I'm going to say test my functions.py, and we are going to see that the failed text appeared. So we got our error, assertion error, and it says addition test failed, this text in here. So I can say addition test caused a problem, and now it's going to return that error. You are going to see Python 3 tests my functions.py, and now actually I didn't save my file, so I'm just going to rerun this. Python 3 test my functions.py, and here we can see that the error change addition test caused a problem. Great. So as expected, our test has failed, indicating that there is an issue with our function. This is the power of unit testing. It quickly pinpoints problems in our code. Imagine like you have a big code base and you have thousands of functions. You can just test them with this one line into the terminal. So it's a great feature. So now let's fix the bug and discuss a few more advanced testing scenarios. So I'm just going to add plus in here, and I'm just going to save this file. Now it's not going to give error on testing. I'm just going to say Python 3 test my functions.py, and you will see that it says okay, great. So there's more complex situations such as testing exceptions or handling edge cases. So let's talk about them. I'm just going to define a new function in here. I'm going to say it's going to be in this class, and I'm going to say define let's test for exceptions. I'm going to test for define test division by 0, and then I'm going to say with self.assert raises, and then I'm going to say actually it's assert, and I'm going to say 0 division error. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to say result is going to be my divide function, and we are going to give 5 and 0. So let's create this my divide function. I'm going to say, and it's going to be like define my divide function. Actually I think it's functions in here, function, and then I'm going to say it's going to be something like x and y, and we are going to return x divided by y. Great. So we are giving 5 and 0, so it needs to raise 0 division error. So great. I'm also going to import that when tool from here, my divide function, and now I'm going to save my files in here, and we are ready to test our function. I'm going to say Python 3 test my functions.py, and we can see that it says okay because it raised 0 division error in this function. If we just give another value in here like this and just run this like Python 3 test my functions.py, we will see that we have a fail because it didn't raise 0 division error. This function needs to return 0 division error for it to work. Great. Here we are testing whether our function correctly raises a 0 division error when dividing by 0. So when we divide by 1, it didn't raise 0 division error, and it says failed in this place. So if we divide it by 0 and just try, okay, we can just try. I'm just going to make this rerun. Python 3 test my functions.py. We will see that we will get okay. So here is how we can use the unit tests to test our functions. These are just basic examples, but think it like you have a lot of functions and you need to test them one by one. Is not even a choice because it's going to be so hard. In this way, you can just test your functions this easily. Great. Thanks for watching the video. I'm sharing 2 or 3 new videos every week about data science and Python programming. You can subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. I shared a free data science bootcamp where I teach Python, Pandas, NumPy, Matplotlib, Plotly, Seaborn, and Scikit-learn with 3 projects. The video is about 7 hours and it's completely free. You can just reach to that video from the cards of this video or the link in the description.